I'm George Marriner Maull, Artistic Director of the Discovery Orchestra and your host of NJPAC's Bank of America Classical Overtures. We thought it would be fun to have some web time with you about this season's Bank of America Classical Series, and as usual, provide some moments of musical discovery, windows for you to find yourself in this music. There are so many interesting stories surrounding some of the most famous musical compositions. Take the Jupiter, Symphony No. 41 by Mozart. We know for sure that Mozart wrote nothing on the music to associate it with the word Jupiter or the planet Jupiter. The nickname for this symphony is believed to have been given it by a German-born violinist, composer, and conductor named Johann Peter Salomon, who spent much of his adult life in London. Regardless of how the word Jupiter became attached to this music, it's fitting. The Romans named the fifth planet from the sun after the god Jupiter, who, as king of the gods, had many attributes, among them Jupiter of the light, and Jupiter the best and the greatest. We could stop right there because Mozart's Symphony No. 41 is certainly among the best and greatest symphonies that he or anyone else ever produced. Let's take a look at the last movement or chapter of this symphony. Without getting into a discussion of the larger recipe that Mozart used for this movement, sonata form, I'd like to investigate just one short section near the very end in which Mozart creates a fugato, or short fugue-like passage. A fugue works sort of like a round, with some notable changes. In a round, everybody starts on the same pitch. See how I started on the same pitch as the piano did? That's the way rounds work. But in a fugue, the voices begin on different pitches. For instance, in this fugue. The next voice comes in. In a round, there is only one melody, but in a fugue, after you have sung or played the main melody, you continue with some different melody while someone else sings or plays the main melody, as in this Bach fugue. Here's the other melody. And then when we put it together, now, what's really wild and frankly remarkable about this fugato in Mozart's symphony is that Mozart uses his other themes from this movement, there are four of them, all played against the movement's main theme. Now, here is the main theme. It's said that Mozart cloned this theme from a part of a famous Gregorian chant setting of St. Thomas Aquinas' hymn Pange Lingua. In English, that's sing my tongue, the glorious battle. The text goes on. La da 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 dee da dee dee dee, la da 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 dee da dum, da da dee da 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 da. Now, did you notice that last little bit I sang? You see where Mozart got his theme? It's obvious that had some significance for Mozart. Otherwise, he wouldn't have used it for the main theme of what turned out to be the last movement of his last symphony. Not that he knew that, or that this work would never be performed while he was still alive. He wrote No. 41 in the summer of 1788. Mozart had made plans to perform this work, but there's no record that the performance ever took place, and he would be dead in just 3 years. Let's listen to the other four themes, or motives. Now, we've listened to the first one. Here's a second idea that occurs in this movement. Here's a third idea. And here's a fourth one. And the last one, a little bit strange, but it works for Mozart. It's very short. Okay, so we have these four other ideas. Now the main one again. As a little listening exercise, I'd like us to listen to this short fugato passage near the end of the last movement 6 times. The first 5 times, we'll listen for only one of these themes at a time. So first, let's listen for the main theme. Remember, this is a fugato, working like a round. Now I'd like us to listen for the one that I call number 2. And again, to refresh your memory, that's the one we're going to listen for. All right, let's go to what we call number 3. All right, we'll be listening for that one this time through. And now we'll listen for number 4, which goes like this. Once again, listen for that one. I hope you're doing okay with this. It's really kind of fun to notice each of these little things, and they stand out. They kind of pop out at you if you focus on one of them. Okay, now the last one, the 5th one, is kind of the most difficult maybe to ferret out. It's the one that sounds like this. And now, for good measure, let's listen to all 5 of them at once, and we'll let the end of the movement play out. Jupiter of the light, Jupiter, the best and the greatest. Friday, March 18th, another one of the great orchestras of the world, the Boston Symphony Orchestra, will perform Mozart's Symphony No. 41, the Jupiter for us. Despite the amazing intellectual complexity of this music, what joy it brings. Yes, that's another one of Jupiter's attributes, bringer of joy. I'll also be on hand that evening before the performance for a Bank of America's Overtures presentation. See you then. And don't forget, check out the NJPAC website for the full program of this exciting concert.